يا رحمن يا رحيم.
The time is just gone 18 minutes past 9 a.m. as we continue with the show this morning. Now, we are going to get feedback from the Concord hearing yesterday on Muslim marriages. We will be joined shortly by the director of Women's Legal Center, Siham Samai. And also, we know one issue that has dominated yesterday was the post on social media with regard to the ninja comment. We also will be talking after Siham with Advocate and Mufti Imran Vauda, just to get his take on the hearing as well, and a short link up with Attorney Zahir Umar this morning. But right now, we're going across to be joined by Siham Samai. Sister Siham, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Jummah Mubarak, and welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum to you and your listeners too, and also Jummah Mubarak to all of you.
Yes, just very quickly, before we get feedback on what had happened at the Concord hearing, obviously one of the issues that have dominated on the sidelines has been that ninja comment. What do you know about that, Siham?
Well, I mean, we were all in court, and so we heard the statement that was made. We issued a media statement indicating that we are exceptionally taken aback by the statement that has been given, that we against Advocate Bawa, and that it was meant to be derogatory, and it was meant to insult, and we need to be able to take it from that perspective. And we also think that it's actually insulting on all the women that we are representing. And also this particular case, which is so important that those comments had to be made. It actually reflects also the deep tensions between the different parties. But at the end of the day, even if those tensions exist, that we need to understand that we need to be collegial with each other, we need to be professional with each other, and we need to be able to respect each other at the end of the day.
Is the Women's Legal Center going to take this matter further, or are we going to just leave the matters as they are at this point in time? Because, we've heard about, obviously, the person's name being mentioned, but, obviously there have been denials as well. So where to from here on this particular issue?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, we do have different options, which includes the Legal Practice Council. But at the end of the day, for us, the issue of the case is much bigger than this particular issue. We hope that the party that said it will apologize and not just will come forward and will apologize to Advocate Bauer and to be able to address it. We know what we heard on the on the Zoom, and we need to be able to take that further. However, our focus is on the case. It has been a 27-year long journey, long road for the Women's Legal Center as well as the women we have sought recognition for. And we all know that the Constitutional Court is the last court. It's the highest court in the country that will decide on the issue of recognition and regulation and provide legal certainty. And so our broader focus is also on the court case.
Yes. Now, we've seen the Concord obviously reserving judgment in this particular case. Do you think that the message has gone through loud and clear? And as far as the Women's Legal Center Trust is concerned, have you achieved your objectives by making this application at the Constitutional Court?
Well, I mean, we launched this matter in 2014. We believe South Africa has a diverse family. And the state has an obligation to ensure that it recognizes that diversity. And so we are confident in terms of the submissions that we have made. The court has made findings previously in relation to some of the issues that we have raised, in particular around the retrospectivity of the interim relief, because we know that law reform processes take very long. We acknowledge that the state has brought in a green paper. We acknowledge that the state has submitted a single marriages discussion paper by the South African Law Reform Commission, and that has been completed. However, at the end of the day, nothing has ever come to fruition, whether or not it's the Muslim Marriages Bill, whether or not it is various papers that have been submitted. And at the end of the day, we know that it's women that is left out in the cold. So today we want to make sure not today, but yesterday we wanted to make sure that the Constitutional Court understands the importance of the interim relief pending the
Yes.
legislation being enacted.
No, yes, just for the brief moment that I had obviously been following the case and just looking at Advocate Bawa's submissions and also what has come through from some of the judges, particularly in the looking at interim relief, because that seemed to be quite an extensive point of discussion, but also at the same time the whole question surrounding Sharia law, which had come under the radar as well, Siam.
Yes, but we are still saying that this matter is not about Sharia law. This matter. There is no doctrinal entanglement. Whoever wants to bring the issues around doctrinal entanglement is being populist, and that they're pushing their own agenda. At the end of the day, this is about the women it's about the women, it's about the spouses in Muslim marriages, it's about the women that are disproportionately impacted at the end of the day because they don't have any recourse, no recourse to their rights to housing, land, and property. And the issue is that this is a joint estate, more times than not, that has been built over the past 25, 30 years in a particular marriage. And we are saying that those women have got, they've got the recourse to the Supreme Court of Appeal to actually issue a divorce order for the dissolution of their marriage.
Well, Siam, I think one of the most critical issues, and I think that also came out pretty strongly in the application and the submissions yesterday, is the consistency or inconsistency with the Constitution as far as some of these provisions go.
The inconsistency of the Sharia, let me just get that. Are you speaking about the inconsistency between the Constitution and Sharia?
Yes, in fact, I think that was seemed when I looked at some of the comments that came through or some of the questions that were raised by some of the judges with regards to the consistency or inconsistency of the Constitution versus the Sharia.
Well, yes, those are issues that were raised. It is quite, like I said before, there isn't issues of doctrinal entanglement. We are not interpreting the Sharia. What we are asking for is a legislative framework. There is no content to it. Whether or not the state decides to ensure that the Marriages Act is amended, whether or not they bring in the MMB, whether or not they bring in a new Muslim marriages bill, whether or not they bring in the single marriages, we are not dictating to state what the content of it should be. And I think that at the end of the day, many of these organizations that are opposing our relief, they are populist and that they are bringing in issues which is not part of this particular case. We are here to be able to protect the rights of women in Muslim marriages. And I have to say that many of the ulama or those that are advocating for only Islamic marriage without regulation, at the end of the day, they are not looking at the interests of women. They are only looking at the interests of themselves. And we need to be honest and we need to be unapologetic about these issues. This is about the economy. This is about them not giving what is due to wives. It is, they must bend their heads in shame, because at the end of the day, we have to go to the secular court to be able to ensure that women get the rights which is so deserving in terms of Sharia law.
Well, Siam, shukran for that. And as always, for your time, we do appreciate you taking time out and talking to us, providing us with that update and that feedback. All the best to you, inshallah. Have yourself a great Friday, a wonderful Jummah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Siham Samai joining us, Director of the Women's Legal Center Trust, just providing an update and some feedback from the Concord hearing yesterday. The time is just gone 9:27 a.m. We will link up next with Advocate and Mufti Imran Abwada just to get his take on what had transpired yesterday.
These days, I'm more health conscious than ever. So tonight, it's stir fry for dinner, cooked in healthy Helios pure sunflower cooking oil. Helios is pure sunflower goodness, packed with omega-6. That's good for your heart, and is approved as part of the Heart and Stroke Foundation eating plan. Dinner's ready! Helios, pure sunflower cooking oil. A healthy family is a happy one.
A strip of land with over 2 million people blockaded for 13 years. Healthcare is on its knees, food is scarce, and water is inadequate. COVID has wreaked havoc in the lives of the people of Gaza. 53% of the population live below the poverty line. 80% of Gaza relies on external aid to survive, and 20,000 children are now orphans. The future is bleak. Please, don't forget Gaza. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
Osman's Taj Mahal Spice and Rice. For over 80 years, Osman's Taj Mahal have been perfecting the art of the perfect blend of spices, pure, aromatic, and well-seasoned. Spices to tantalize your taste buds. From creative cuisines to gastronomical gourmet goodies. From exotic odors to traditional dishes, Osman's Taj Mahal have remained synonymous with quality spices and condiments. Taj Mahal rice, beans, and lentils. Try our range of chili bite mixes, rose and ilachi syrup, our quick and easy biryani pack, and our traditional range of spice blends. Osman's Taj Mahal. There is no substitute for quality.
DuziMed Medicine Depot, retail pharmacy and emergency medical depot. Conveniently situated in the DuziMed Medical Center, corner Burger and Bosser Street, Pietermaritzburg. We provide safe, affordable and convenient medical facilities. Open till 10 p.m. every day of the year. We have a full house clinic that operates from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is run by a qualified sister. The clinic offers immunization, vaccination, wellness, general consultation, and more. Call DuziMed Medicine Depot on 033 3421 DuziMed Medicine Depot, your pharmacy of choice. The combined dam levels for the Port Elizabeth area is at a shocking 11%. 1 July is day zero for the Kucha Dam, resulting in dry taps for hundreds of families in the surrounding areas of Port Elizabeth. Help us strategize. Support our water drive in the Eastern Cape region of South Africa. Donate your lilla towards the erecting of JoJo tanks in impoverished areas and for the vehicles to deliver water in areas of need. Donate to the Al-Fida Foundation. Visit our website at www.alfida.co.za or contact us at 041 484 1288.
سبحانك ربي سبحانك.
Add a sprinkling of sparkles to your magical parties and special occasions with colorful party supplies and decorations to a wide range of baking goods and tools. Packaging from gift bags to meat bags, foil and polystyrene containers, elegant serviettes and intimate candles to disposable wet wipes. A range of glassware, bakeware and stunning wedding accessories just for you. Wholesale packaging available. Sprinkles and Sparkles Party Shop. You'll want it all. Find us at 431 Inanda Road, Parlock, Durban. Call 031 577 0604. Our operating hours are weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., weekends and public holidays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Follow us on Instagram at Spring and Spark.
There are over 200 million orphans globally. We can't help all of them. But what if we each helped just one? The Al Imdad Foundation now gives you an opportunity to help just one orphan from Syria or Palestine. For just 500 Rand per month, you can help safeguard the dignity of an orphan by assisting them with basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter, medical care, and attention. Our orphan sponsorship program allows you to track the progress of your orphan through regular feedback. Make a difference in the life of an orphan today. Visit alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
Time is just gone 9:32 a.m. and we continue this morning getting feedback on the Concord hearing yesterday after the application that was brought in front of the Concord with regard to Muslim marriages. We joined on the line this morning by advocate and Mufti of the Jamiatul Ulama KwaZulu-Natal, Mufti Imran Vauda. Mufti Saab, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you and your listeners as well. And Jazakallah for having me on the program.
Mufti Saab, just looking at the application that was brought yesterday and just your analysis on the application in itself and what had actually transpired at the Concord.
As far as the main relief is concerned, there has been a concession from the state parties that there was a failure from the government to recognize and regulate Muslim marriages. Then there was a technical argument as where do we pinpoint and place that failure. Based on what proceedings took place before the Supreme Court of Appeal, there the court identified that there was a failure in the Marriage Act and Divorce
if you
Act.
just move slightly around, please. We can't hear you very clearly.
Can you hear me now, please? Hello?
Yes, Muktasab, we are having a bit of a problem hearing you. If you could just move around slightly, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is that any better?
Yes, please go ahead, Muktasab.
Okay. As far as the main relief is concerned, the main parties on the one side, the state parties, and the other side, the Women's Legal Center, they basically agreed that there was a failure from the state in recognizing and regulating Muslim marriages. However, there was a technical debate as to where do we locate that failure. So based on what the Supreme Court of Appeal said, they located the difficulty in the Marriage Act and the Divorce Act, whereas the Women's Legal Center, on the one side, they accepted that, but they also hinted towards locating the difficulty in Section 7, subsection 2 of the Constitution. So there's a more technical issue, but the basic issue is that government realizes we have failed in a duty and we need to pick that up. As far as going forward is concerned, from the government side, they've alluded to the single marriage statute as the way they seek to redress the matter. In other words, there's going to be a new legislation across the board that is going to recognize all religious marriages and all cultural marriages under one statute. And this is the way forward. As far as the other matters for the court, the next major matter was the interim relief. What happens from now until such time that government fixes up the position. The Women's Legal Center was pushing for retrospective relief. In other words, we backdated back to April 1994, whereas the government position was that in doing so, we'll be leading to chaos because many matters that may have already been settled in the past will now have the opportunity to be reopened, and that could create a lot of legal uncertainty. So the debate was around that, and as you're aware, the Concord reserve judgment, in other words, they will take some time and then they'll come forward with their judgment.
Yes. Now, also, I think what is important to understand is both the Marriage Act and the Divorce Act, where we've seen the Supreme Court of Appeal order previously declaring it inconsistent with the constitution of the country and the failure to recognize Muslim marriages. Now, when one looks at Sharia law against both these acts, the Marriage Act and the Divorce Act, and this obviously is the sticky point, Muftisab, because we know that, there are a number of issues when we're looking at Sharia law versus both the Marriages Act and the Divorce Act.
Yeah, we agree 100%. I mean, what's going to via the Marriage Act and Divorce Act, similarly via the single marriage statute, is not going to be Sharia, and we accept that, and that is the reality on the ground. The next question is that we as Muslims, how do we conduct our affairs? So there are a number of options, a number of proposals. The one is, as far as voluntary submission to Sharia, there is no interference. There, the parties willingly wish to carry out their Sharia obligations. The state will not interfere, will not impede a person. Where matters go to court, where one of the parties wants a right and they go to court, there will definitely be a challenge. However, we are looking at mechanisms where we could possibly ameliorate and lessen the burden and, so to say, reduce the opportunity for people to take disadvantage of the situation and enforce rights that are contrary to Sharia. the one mechanism that we are looking into is a prenuptial contract. That is, before marriage, the parties enter into a contract where they spell out their Sharia obligations, etc. So when things get sour and people want to take matters to court, they can now refer back to this contract, which they will be bound to.
Yes. Now, also, I think this was a sentiment that obviously was of concern to some of the judges when they questioned Advocate Bauer with regard to Sharia law and in terms of infringement of Sharia law against these acts that we have been talking about, Mufti Saab.
Yes, I do agree. And with the greatest of respect, I don't think she made a proper concession to the point. And the reality is that there is definitely a conflict. It is secular law does not match up with the Sharia, and that's the reality. I think the proper thing should have been to concede that the two are not fully aligned, and by imposing one, you're obviously going to violate the other.
Well, Mufti Saab, let's see. Obviously, it will be premature to see to establish what the court ruling will be on this matter. But we know that they have reserved judgment at this point in time, so it's going to be a wait and see, and then strategically look at how we actually proceed from here, or how we progress from here, moving forward on this matter. But for now, Mufti Saab, Jazakallah as always for your time with us here on Salam Media on News and Views. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That brings us straight on to 9:40 a.m. and we're going to go for a quick break. We come back, we'll be joined by attorney Zahir Umar.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Africa. For your convenience, the Africa Muslims Agency's Durban office has moved to 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood, Durban. Our friendly staff are eagerly awaiting to receive, advise, and share with you the current ongoing campaigns and projects that you have been supporting for the last 35 years. Visit us at 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood, or call 031 207 5676. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Approximately 785 million people in this world do not have access to safe, clean water. In developing countries, around 80% of all illnesses are due to contaminated water and poor sanitation. Don't let dirty water end a life. Build a water well in Bangladesh, Malawi, Nepal, Zimbabwe, or here at home in South Africa. Donate to Penny Appeal's Thirst Relief Project to bring safe, clean water to communities around the world. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Did you know that you can get the latest humanitarian news and updates from the Al Imdad Foundation by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also receive our flash updates via WhatsApp by adding 082 591 6430 as a contact and sending us a WhatsApp message with your name. That's 082 591 6430. Visit alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Time is just gone 9:44 a.m. as we head towards closure this morning. We still have got Abir Zayad coming through with an update out of Al-Quds, but we're still staying with the Concord application yesterday with regard to Muslim marriages. We joined on the line this morning by attorney Zahir Umar from Zahir Umar Attorneys. Zahir, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak to you too. Thank you.
Yes, Zahir, just following developments yesterday that had taken place at the Constitutional Court application and some of the critical questions, and these have been concerns that have been raised over a period of time in terms of subjecting the Sharia to the Constitution, allowing the government and the courts to interfere with Muslim marriages and their consequences. Just looking at the submissions that were made yesterday, what is your analysis? What is your take on what had transpired?
Judge Stone asked Advocate Bauer a salient question, and in my respectful view, that question and answer summed up the talk of the case. Judge Stone asked Advocate Nassim Bauer, who argued in support of government enacting a Muslim marriages law. The question Judge Stone asked was the following: doesn't the South African law conflict with Sharia? Now, that question is very deep because all law that is made by Parliament in South Africa is subservient to the Constitution. A significant section in the South African Constitution is Section 9. Section 9 of the South African Constitution prohibits all discrimination. That means the following: if Parliament in South Africa enacts or makes a law called a Muslim Marriages Act, then the provisions in the Islamic jurisprudence that will be found to be discriminatory are the following. One, in terms of Sharia, a man can have a maximum of 4 wives. A woman cannot have more than one husband. That will be a conflict. Number 2, in Islam, marriage is restricted between a man and a woman who have reached puberty. In South African law, a marriage can take place between 2 women and 2 men. In Islam, a woman cannot be an imam in a masjid. In secular law, a woman is permitted to do everything that a man does. These are 3 examples of many, but the listeners can use the imagination now. So if the Parliament enacts a law called the Muslim Marriages Act, that law will be subservient to the Constitution of South Africa, and not long it will be argued that 2 men can marry each other, and that would be in accordance with the Islamic Marriages Act. It's before it becomes an act, it's a law. And that would strike at the very heart of Sharia and Islam. Advocate Bauer was unable to clearly answer Judge Stone's question in this regard. But Judge Stone's question appears to me to reveal that the judges of the Constitutional Court have grasped the main reason why we object to Parliament interfering into the affairs of Islamic law. Islamic law is its own jurisprudence. South African law is a separate jurisprudence. The best I can explain this is East is East and West is West, and never the twain shall meet. You can't marry the two. It's impossible. As it's happening now, on a case-by-case basis, women or men who feel aggrieved in an Islamic marriage will go to court, and the court has been helping them on an ad hoc basis. But to have a separate law enacted by Parliament governing a Muslim marriage or interfering in Islamic personal law will create a huge conflict which is irreconcilable.
Yes. Now, also there, I think there are two other issues here. The one of interim relief that had featured very, very prominently, and obviously the second issue with regard to enforcement and whether we have the capacity to enforce Sharia law within our own structures. And as a result, that is the reason why matters actually go to court. Now, these are absolutely important. These are critical issues.
The enforcement and Iman is inextricable. A Muslim is a Muslim because he or she submits to the following: La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. There is no God besides Allah, and Rasulullah is the last Nabi. And the enforcement of the enforcement of a punishment for non-compliance with a law prescribed by Allah will not be felt in the dunya. Maybe it is felt in the dunya, but definitely a Muslim is promised she will experience the punishment in the akhirah. So it's a mere delayed enforcement. So the argument of enforcement with respect, I don't fully understand, and it could be understandable if a non-Muslim don't fully understand it. But as I understand it as a Muslim, I believe and I accept that the enforcement or the punishment I would suffer for departing from the laws of Allah will be in the akhirah. And I believe the life in the dunya on earth is very, very short. It gets very deep.
Well, certainly, definitely, Zair. And, Zair, obviously, we have got limited time. And I think, obviously, the one issue that came up, and I know it's, something that came up, it's in social media as well, the question about that hijab remark that had basically come out. Have you got any comment on that, Zair?
Judge Strom, during the proceedings, remarked and said that I omitted to mute Mrs. Umar. So whatever was said or stated was never intended to be heard by the public. It was clear that Judge Strom omitted to put off her mic, resulting in discussions which were never intended to be made public, being heard, and I'll leave it there.
Well, Jazakallah for that, Zair, and for your time with us this morning here on Salam Media. We wish you all the best, inshallah. Have yourself a great Jummah, inshallah. Allah keep you safe. Allah protect you, your family, and your loved ones as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.